Yes, good evening, dear students. I'm Dr. Denzi Lawrence from PhD 101. You can see a lot of students have joined in. Okay. Do we have Dr. Amol logged in the session? Yeah, I think her is just there. So let me just ask her to switch on the video. Good evening, sir. Let me just, can you unmute yourself? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Amol, sir. You can unmute yourself. I just want to check the.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly fine. All right.
Great. Okay. So your phone was ringing.
Sorry?
There was a phone which was ringing.
So how's everything, sir?
Yeah, all right. How are you?
Good, sir. Good. Yeah, everything is pretty much the same, I think, everywhere. The condition.
Yeah. But then cases have gone down, right, there at your place?
Significantly, yes.
Yeah. Because here also it's dropped down quite a bit. So there's a little bit of relaxation.
Okay. Okay. Let me just.
So see, I will. Okay. You will make me or you will share.
You can share the screen now, sir. You can share your screen.
Okay, I will just check. You can just check once.
Yes.
Is it visible?
Yeah. Visible, sir. Visible. Yes.
So this way is okay, or should we put it on play? So play means it will become autoplay then.
Okay. Is it? I think this should be fine, sir.
This should be fine.
But we can't see you while you present.
So then.
Otherwise, you want me to share the screen? I can do that.
Yes, it can. It is okay. Yeah, you can.
Okay, just give me a moment.
Yeah, but then how will I be able to flip it?
Correct. Yeah, I think if you're comfortable with that, it's fine, sir. You're used to that, no? So I'll just keep it as a backup in case there's any transmission problem. Then I can.
Yeah. So then means there is no need for me to show. No?
Yeah. All right. So just quick introduction to everybody. Okay. Good evening, dear students. Welcome you all to PhD 101. I think we have a lot of new students today. So greetings from Public Health Dentistry 101. Ours is a learning platform, a national level learning platform, where we conduct academic sessions every Wednesday, mainly focusing on the undergraduates and also for the postgraduates. So it gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Amol Jamkhande sir to the session, whom I personally have met on a couple of occasions in our conferences and really enjoyed the experience. So sir is presently working as Associate Professor in the Department of Public Health Dentistry, Bharati Vidyapith Dental College, Pune, Maharashtra. So with this brief introduction, I think today, just to give a context about the topic, which is finance in dental care. Now, most of the students find this topic to be something which bounces over the head because why are we supposed to know about what is the transactions and the finance systems and the payment mechanisms? So there are many questions which are often asked. Now, just to give a little bit of context for students, especially since our specialty has become public health dentistry from the earlier preventive and community dentistry, there has been more emphasis in many university papers on this. So obviously for the reasons that yes, it's important for your exam. It's also important to understand that dentistry has evolved from an art and science and now to the business of dentistry. So there is an exchange of goods and services for a certain transaction, and there has to be a certain value system. It becomes all the more important for public health professionals because we have to conduct programs, we have to plan programs at national level and global level. So there's a lot of allocation which has to go. So understanding the basics of financial aspects of dentistry, okay, in terms of payment mechanisms, all of that Dr. Amol sir will be discussing over the next 1 hour. So with this background, I think I welcome everybody on board to this session. And we shall have a question answer session towards the end as well. And in between anything, if you'd like to share anything or anything, I request everybody to use the chat box freely. And with that introduction, welcome once again, Dr. Amol sir, to our panel. Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking out time for doing this session today amongst your busy schedule. So over to you, sir.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Denzi. for the nice introduction. Okay, should I share my screen?
Yeah, please, please
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so good evening, everyone. The topic for today is finance in dental care. So myself from the Department of Public Health Dentistry, Bharati Vidyapit Dental College and Hospital, Pune, Maharashtra, India. Okay, so finance in dental care, if we see in the first instance, when we think finance in dental care, what's there in finance in dental care? So it's all a patient goes to a dentist and asks for whatever, tells his chief complaint, asks for treatment to be done, the dentist performs the treatment, and then he walks out, pays the requisite fees, and thus walks out. Okay, so this is, even if it seems very simple, it is not that simple as it is. Okay, so we'll keep on discussing for the next 40 minutes to 1 hour about various options in finance and dental care. We'll see the entire scenario, not only in India, but also which is there outside. If you see finance in dental care, it is more evolved outside of India, especially in the Western countries. In the United States of America, it is more evolved because their costs of dental care are really more, and it's very, very expensive. So finance comes there. And so we'll discuss all the scenarios and with emphasis on the Indian scenario as we come to the end of it. So coming to the introduction, healthcare services traditionally have been provided for fee-for-service basis, as I said. So, but as the cost of healthcare services they continue to rise, then the methods will be sought to ease the costs either by legislation or by development of a variety of funding approaches. So initially, means as we say, it is only fee for service, but it's not fee for service. As the cost keeps on increasing, not everyone can bear those costs, or it might not be affordable for each and everyone to bear the cost. So for that, then some funding methods have to be there so that it is more easier for the patient also to get the treatment done at one go initially when he's actually having an active problem, and then maybe he can pay over a period of time, or there might be some third party who would be paying for his or her treatments. This finance is very well evolved in the medical side, if you see, but in the dental side, we are still in the budding stage. So before we go on to exactly about finance, we'll just see about what are the various healthcare systems of India. So just focusing on India, so we have a public health sector and we have a private sector. So in the public health sector, we have primary healthcare centers, then sub-centers, then the hospital health centers, where we have the CHCs or the community health centers. Then we have a bigger setup, rural hospitals, more bigger setup at the district level is district hospitals or the health centers, and specialty hospitals and teaching hospitals. So in this, we also have health insurance schemes in which the state runs employee state insurance scheme. The central government runs few schemes, central government health scheme, CGHS as it is abbreviated. There are a few other agencies also who provide health care. So this is true in case of dental care also. So there are different services, Army, Navy, and Air Force. They have their own dental clinics, their own dental setups. They have employed dentists in the Army, in the Navy, and in the Air Force who are salaried people who are on their roll call, and they provide dental services to the people who are recruited in the armed forces, and along with that also to the common public who visit their hospitals. Also, the next agency is railways. Railways also provide dental services. They have railway hospitals are there where they have a dental unit, and dentists are employed and they provide dental services for the employees of railways. So this was about the public health sector. Moving on to the private sector. So private hospitals, polyclinics, nursing homes, and dispensaries. So after this, we also have some indigenous systems of medicine, same healthcare systems of India. So we have Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Tibi, homeopathy. There are also a few quacks, as we all know, unregistered practitioners. Along with this, we have voluntary health agencies who work for the benefit of the public, and the national health programs, which are run through the central government and the state governments, usually through the central governments for the benefit of the public. So coming to the mechanism of payment for dental care. So there are quite a few mechanisms by which actually dental care can be paid. So dental service can be availed and care for, and the fee for that can be paid. So the first and foremost, this is just a brief of what is in store for the in the next part of our talk. So first is private fee for service, then post-payment plans, private third-party prepayment plans are there, in which we have commercial health insurance companies which actually operate for profit. Then there are non-profit health service corporations like Delta Dental Plan, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, which operate. These are more or less operating in the US. Then there's something prepaid group practice. Then there are a few capitation plans. These have started creeping up in India also. Then there are salaries, as we discuss, salaried persons working with the armed forces, working with the government, working with the railways, and few public programs. So we'll start discussing it one by one. First and foremost is the fee for service. So basically, what is fee for service? It is just a two-party arrangement between the dentist and the patient. So it is in the traditional form of reimbursement for dental services. Almost all countries, very, very prevalent in India also. So the patient avails a service from the dentist and directly pays whatever are the requisite fees. So there are a few advantages of this. It is culturally acceptable. It is flexible for the patient, administratively simple, and time saving. So flexible, the patient can visit whichever dentist he wants according to the fees what he can afford, and he can avail of the service and he can pay to the dentist. Administratively, very, very simple, not much, nothing, no administration, lot of administration required, quite time saving because the dentist can directly focus on the treatment. He doesn't need to focus on other things. There are few disadvantages also in this. That is, there is always a possibility that some potential patients can afford the dental care of, okay, cannot afford the dental care. So when it is fee for service, every dentist is going to charge according to his technical acumen, according to his expertise, according to whether he's a BDS, he's the MDS, he's an implantologist or whatever. Okay. So accordingly, he's going, so not two dentist fees would be same. They would be different. So in that case, there's a possibility that if the fees are high, then some patients may not be able to afford the treatment charges. So in this, these persons will be unable to receive dental care if this is the only mode of financing. So if it is the only mode of financing, then some people who cannot afford direct payment for the dentist or the dentist fees may not find it feasible to get treatment from the dentist, and they might be needing to visit government hospitals or other scenarios where the treatment cost is quite less when compared to the private practice. Coming to the Indian scenario of fee for practice, this is the most common method in India, as India has one of the lowest per capita expenditures on health, almost is just 4.75%. So it results in poor quality of care in government institutions because the money which is spent with the money budgetary allocation to the government hospitals is quite less. So that's why overall the quality of care in government hospitals may not be up to the mark as when we can compare to the private hospitals. So it results in patients moving on to the private sector. But private care is expensive, so people visit the dentist only for curative services, and thus preventive care may be ignored. So when the patient has to pay from out of his pocket expenses for the dental treatment, as in fee for services, so if the patient is not affording, then he would be getting treatment only for his chief complaint. So whatever curative services he would require, he would be getting the treatment done. But then we all know that dentistry, most of the problems in dentistry are preventive. But still, because then he doesn't have enough of resources to be spent on that, so the preventive care part is quite ignored. So this was about fee for service. Then there's something called as post-payment cost, post-payment plans. These are also called budget plans. So means what? The dentist may allow payments for dental care to be made at intervals or over a period of time. So the dentist will do the treatment and then the payment will be over a period of time or in specific intervals. So how is this possible? The patient would the patient would borrow money from the bank or any financial institution or a company and pay the dentist at the time he gets the treatment done. and then the patient may repay the loan to the bank. So it is actually a loan which the patient can avail from any financial institution or a financial company. And then he would repay that loan back to the bank over a period of time. So there are some disadvantages of post payments, mostly used by middle class people, as low income patients are not considered as creditworthy by lending institutions. So there is a hitch here. Means what is most important here? The people who are rich, who can afford, they will directly visit the dentist, fee for service, they will get the dental treatment done, pay his requisite fees, and the job is done. But in post payment plans, if the patient cannot afford his dental treatment or the charges of the dentist, he needs to apply for a loan with a bank or a financial institution. So rich people are not going to do that. Middle class or middle income people, they might go with this possibility. They might apply. So this post payment plans are usually mostly used by middle class. But low income individuals who are not thought to be credit worthy by the lending institutions, they might not get a loan at all. They might not be eligible for a loan, or they might not be thought to be eligible by the financial institutions. In those cases, again, they miss out on this, and again, their treatment might lag behind. So this is a disadvantage of post payments. So there is something called as private third party prepayment. So it was post payment plans, then something there is as a prepayment plan. Okay, so before treatment, it is the payment for services by some agency rather than directly by the patient. So in this, a third party is coming into the picture. So dentist is the first party, patient is the second party, and the administrator of the finances or the insurance company is the third party. So this third party is defined as a party to a dental prepayment contract that may collect premiums, assume financial risk, and pay the claims and provide administrative services. So this is about private third party prepayment plan. So this is as good as an insurance company. Third party also can be called as, is also called as a carrier, a insurer, an underwriter, on or a administrative agent. So in third party payment of public, in third party payment, public financing of care is done. It may be by the government or it may be by private carriers such as an insurance company. So government also runs few schemes, insurance schemes you might be knowing. It's not boiled down to dental yet, but with medical, there are few schemes where they pay around 360 rupees a year and they get few medical treatments which come under the ambit, and an insurance of up to 1 to 2 lakh rupees is given to the public. So it may be by the government or a private carrier such as an insurance company. In private third party plans, periodic premiums are collected to meet the costs of providing care as well as the administrative costs of the third party are met with. So the insurance company, what the insurance company is going to do, they will collect periodic premiums from the individual, and then whenever he has a claim, whenever he gets treatment done, and he would apply to the insurance company with the requisite bills or claim for his dental treatment, then the insurance company is going to pay either to the individual or directly to the dentist. So this is about private third party prepayment plan. So insurance. So what is insurance exactly? We are talking a lot about insurance. So what is insurance? So it involves a group of people making small payments in order to cover the risk of a few who suffer catastrophic loss, maybe such as a loss of a home through fire, vehicle damage, etc. So group of people making small payments, so it becomes a big kitty. So it becomes a big corpus, and from that, few people who would claim or who would suffer loss and they claim to the company, that claim is met with or paid by the insurance company. So this is the basic of insurance. There are a few principles of insurance also. Okay, to be insurable, any risk. So ultimately, it is a risk which is insured, right? So to be insurable, a risk must be, first, we should be able to precisely define the risk. It should be of sufficient magnitude so that if it occurs, it constitutes a major loss to the individual. Then it should be infrequent. So it should not be easily occurring. It should be really infrequent. Be of an unwanted nature, such as destruction of a home through fire. Be beyond the control of the individual. So it should not be within the control. It should be beyond. So it would be just like an accident, not, and it should not constitute a moral hazard. Means what? That the presence of insurance itself should not lead to additional claims. So because it doesn't happen like this, that I have a medical insurance, okay, so if I have a medical accidental medical insurance, I don't go and bang my car against something else, right? So it should not constitute a moral hazard. So presence of insurance itself should not lead to additional claims of insurance. But still, even though there are so many principles of insurance, all the health insurance agencies violate some of these principles. So dental insurance actually is made feasible by having patient pay a share of cost. So now how is insurance or dental insurance made feasible? So upfront, the patient may have to pay a share of the costs, then limiting the range of services. So not the entire gamut of all the dental services might not be available through dental insurance. Offering coverage only to groups in some cases. So the coverage is offered only to group of people, not to individual in few cases. And also they may include waiting periods after enrollment before the actual benefits become payable in the plan. So some waiting period. So you buy an insurance in a mediclaim insurance also. You buy insurance, you have a waiting period or a wasting period of at least 6 months to 1 year when with classification of several diseases. So yeah, it's not that you have a pain in the knee and the doctor has asked you for a knee surgery and you so tomorrow you have a knee surgery within 1 or 2 days and you buy insurance today and immediately go and claim the next day. It doesn't happen that way. So they include waiting periods during enrollment before actually the benefits of the plan come into it. The problems of these are also overcome by offering different types of payments. So there are various modes of payments what are offered, like the deductible, co-insurance, and group insurance. So what is deductible? It is set amount of money that patient must pay towards the cost of treatment before benefits of the program go into effect. So before you claim any insurance, you need to pay that deductible, a set amount of money before the plan goes into, before you directly claim. So that is a deductible. So there's a standard deductibles. Example, for example, payment which you may need to make in case you have to claim a automobile insurance. The next L after deductible is co-insurance. It means that the payment pays a percentage of the total cost of treatment. Means what? That insurance company may not pay the entire cost, 100% cost of treatment. Insurance company may pay a percentage, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever percentage, and the rest the patient has to pay. So that is co-insurance. So patient also is a party to the payment. So he pays a percentage of the total cost of treatment. And then group insurance. So health insurance, which was first offered only to groups because illness experience is reasonably predictable for a group, though not for an individual. The risk of adverse selection was reduced by insuring only large groups, which averaged out the risks. So means what? That if 100 people pay premiums and it is group insurance, not all 100 people are going to claim. So that's why it is offered in groups. So whatever corpus they collect from 100 people, that corpus is later divided into few claims which are claimed to the company. And then the remaining money remains with the insurance company as their profit. Also, insurance companies use waiting periods after enrollment before any benefits become available. We already discussed this, that there are few waiting periods, there is some waiting period before actually the benefits of the insurance plan come into effect. So how is the reimbursement of dentist in third party plans? So the major forms of third party reimbursements currently used, these are used in the US. These are not there in India. India majorly is fee for service. We are going to discuss other things also which are applicable in India as we go ahead. Okay, so reimbursement of dentists in third party plans, major forms currently in use are the UCR or the usual, customary and reasonable fee. Then there's something called as a table of allowances. Then there is fee schedule and capitation. So coming to the UCR, so UCR is usual, customary, and reasonable fee. The usual fee that an individual dentist most frequently charges for a given dental service. So it is simple fee for service. Usually what a dentist would charge for a given treatment. Customary fee, the fee level determined by the administrator of a dental benefit plan. from actually submitted fees for a specific dental procedure to establish the maximum benefit payable. So his fees, his usual fees might be suppose 100 rupees, but an administrator of a dental benefit plan, he may approach the dentist and say that, okay, we have few individuals for dental treatment. We will be sending you and you give us 20% discount on your usual fee. So that is the fee level determined by the administrator of a dental benefit plan from the actual submitted fee. So his actual submitted fees are 100 rupees, but the customary fee comes down 20% less. Then there's something called as a reasonable fee, UCR. Okay, the reasonable fee, that is the fee charged by a dentist for a specific dental procedure that has been modified by the nature and severity of the condition being treated by medical or dental complications, or maybe due to some unusual circumstances. So his usual fee, suppose for extraction, is 500 rupees, and the extraction, the tooth is impacted. So he starts doing it, and then he finds out that the tooth is impacted, is broken, and then some more services will be required of an oral surgeon, or maybe a little bit more extensive treatment minus surgical procedure might be required. So usual fee is 500. His customary fee, what he has submitted, might be 20% less, that is 400 rupees. But now doing and removing an impacted tooth, it might take a longer time, more expertise, and more equipments, and more time and everything. So in that case, then they will have to sit down, and the usual and customary fees will be modified due to the nature and severity of this condition being treated, and thus it may be different from the usual and customary fees. So this is the UCR concept. Next is the table of allowances. It is defined as a list of covered services with an assigned amount that represents the total obligation of the plan with respect to payment for such services, but that does not necessarily represent the dentist full fee for that service. So means what? If the dentist usual fee is, sorry, yeah. So if the dentist's usual fee is 1,000 rupees for a service and the plan listed, so for a bed, for through the administrator of a dental benefit plan, if the dentist has submitted his customary fee 25% less as 750 rupees, then the dentist will provide the service, collect 750 from the carrier, and he may charge the patient 250 rupees to make up the difference. The patient will have to pay only part of the fees. The rest of the majority of the fees will be paid by the service provider or with whom they have signed an agreement. So this is table of allowances. The next is fee schedules. It is also called as a service plan. It is defined as a list of charges established or agreed by for specific dental services. So it is a program in which payment is meant to represent full with no obligation on part of the patient. So once you submit a fee schedule, the dentist cannot charge more to his patient. If he has submitted the fee schedule as 750 rupees, then the fees has to be 750. He can't charge more. The rest fees, the remaining fees of 250 rupees, what we saw previously, he can't charge to the patient. So that are the full fees of that particular dentist for that particular service. So that is about fee schedules. So, but all over the world, dentists all over the world have an opposition for fee schedules. Why? Because there is potential inflexibility in this part of payment, meaning that the fees listed can fall below customary fees, particularly in times of rapid inflation. So, a fee schedule has been submitted 3 years back, and the same fee schedule is still running. It has not been updated, and due to inflation, the cost of treatment has already increased. Then there is inflexibility on part of the dentist to charge the patient more than what is listed in the fee schedule. That's why dentists are not very happy with when it comes to fee schedules. Also, the implicit assumption that all dentist treatment is of the same quality and therefore worth the same fee. So if the fee schedule is decided at 500 rupees for an extraction, so it for a particular city by a particular company by a particular administrator, it means that all the dentists in that particular city who come under the fee schedule, the quality of work of everyone is same. It might not be true each and every time. So in that case, dentists with more expertise may want to charge more than what is submitted to the fee schedule. So that's why not all dentists are happy with the fee schedules. The fear that autonomy is threatened, especially if the fee schedule is not controlled by the dentist. So if it is controlled by the administrator of the dental plan, and there's a big corporate and he keeps on sending patients to dentists in that area, and if the corporate keeps on controlling the fee schedule of that, then it would be very difficult on part of the patient. So the autonomy of the profession as such is being threatened. So that's why fee schedule is not a very well going idea with dentists. The next is capitation. So it is a dental benefit program in which dentists or a group of dentists contract with the program sponsor or administrator to provide all or most of the dental services covered under the program for their subscribers or their patients in return for a payment on per capita basis. So it is a fixed monthly or a yearly payment paid by the carrier to the dentist in a closed panel. So suppose a corporate has 500 employees and they decide that they will be paying 1000 rupees per employee to the dentist, to few dentists, and so this payment is going to be paid in advance to the dentists, and they have to do all the requisite treatments under the contract, which the contract has been signed, enlisting the dental services what they have to give. They have to do it without charging anything to the patient. So in capitation, patients are assigned to specific dentists or the dental practice for their dental care, so that the capitation payment can be paid to the appropriate dentist or the dental practice. Here, the dentist receives a fixed sum of money per head per month or per year, annually, whatever, per month or annually, regardless whether the participants in the plan receive dental care in that month or year or they don't. So out of 500 people, if only 100 people receive dental care in that year or in that month, still, regardless of that, the dentist is going to get the full payment what is agreed for 500 individuals. In this, the assumption is that while some patients will receive a lot of care in a month, some may receive none, but the total amount of money paid to the dentist will be sufficient to cover overall costs of care in that particular covered group. That's why it is capitation. Capitation is quite popular, but there are few disadvantages of capitations also. So dentists are resistant to capitation because of the fear of high utilization and demands for more expensive treatments, thus may outrun the capitation fee, and the dentist will thus suffer from economic loss. So scaling and polishing not required, but still the patient may land up every month. He might be eating some tobacco chewing, some gutka, some pan masala, and every month he might land up for scaling and polishing. So it is there in the contract. So every month, so it is overutilization of services from the dentist, which the dentist is going to suffer. Second thing, due to stains on the teeth, the patient may land up for higher cosmetic procedures or expensive treatments like bleaching. The patient might ask for bleaching, which may not be covered in the contract, or even though it is covered, because of his habits, he's more vulnerable, he's more prone to brown teeth or discoloration of teeth. And in that case, the dentist is at a loss. So American Dental Association is opposed to capitation as the sole form of reimbursement, arguing that where such mechanism exists, it should be on an equal footing with the UCR, so that future patients have a choice. So not everybody can be included into capitation. So there has to be have some UCR concept also along with capitation. So then there are few private third party prepayment plans. So these are commercial insurance plans, non-profit health service corporations like the Delta Dental Plan, Blue Cross, Blue Shield. And there is a prepaid group practice, health maintenance organization, and few capitation plans. So commercial insurance plans, if we see, commercial insurance plans, they operate obviously for profit. It is often designed as an indemnity compensatory plan rather than a service benefit plan. Since they operate for profit, obviously they would be charging higher premiums from the patient. Non-profit health service corporations, Delta Dental Plan, Original Dental Service Corporation, most majorly in the US, legally constitute not-for-profit organizations. So these are non-profit health service organizations. So not-for-profit organization, they negotiate and administer contracts for dental care on a state-by-state basis. So on a state-by-state basis, they have various contracts. So reimbursement of dentist in Delta Dental Plan, usually exclusively it is there by the UCR concept. Reimbursing dentists depends on whether the dentist is participating or non-participating. So you can be at par dentist or a participating dentist in the plan, or you can be a non-participating dentist. Still, you can treat the patients of the Delta Dental Plan. But the amount of reimbursement what goes in a participating dentist and a non-participating dentist is different. So participating dentist, who is it? Any duly licensed dentist with whom a Delta plan has a contractual agreement to render care to its contracted customers or patients. So rules for participating dentists: by allowing to be a participating dentist, the dentist agrees for the following: pre-filing of their usual and customary fees. So they have to pre-file that. So the Delta Corporation knows what is your usual fee and what is the negotiated customary fee. Acceptance of payment for their services at the 90th percentile. Fee audits by auditors from Delta. So they may come for audits, post-treatment inspection of randomly chosen patients, and they may withhold 4 to 5% of the treatment charges, which goes into the reserve fund. There are also few rules for non-participating dentists in the dental plan. So they can also treat non-participating dentists, even though you have not contracted with the Delta Dental Plan, you can still treat the patients. So they can also treat covered under the Delta plans. They do not need to pre-file their fees. So it is not required. They are not subject to fee audits. They are not subject to fee audits. They're not subject to fee audits. Okay. And they are usually paid at the 50th percentile. So there are two concepts, 90th percentile and 50th percentile. So what is that? So it is basically 90th percentile is a concept that if there are 100 dentists in an area, so whatever charge, everybody has filed their usual and customary fees. So whatever 90% of dentists, whatever they charge, that fee is to be paid for participating dentists. Okay, so few dentists may charge 10%, 20, 30, 40. So charges range from, maybe extraction charges might range from 500 rupees to 2000 rupees. So few dentists might charge 500, some might charge 600, 700, 800. So some might charge 2000. So where 90% of the dentists, where it falls, how much they charge, that comes to the 90th percentile. Whoever is charging above the 90th percentile is being paid by the Delta Corporation at the level of 90th percentile. So even if you charge 2000 rupees and the 90th percentile is 1600 rupees, you will be reimbursed 1600 rupees only. But if you are charging less, if you're charging 1000 rupees and the 90th percentile is 1600 rupees, you will be paid your full fee, that is 1000. So this is the concept of 90th percentile. Then there are few Blue Cross and Blue Shield plans also, non-profit ones. For many years offered limited dental coverage as a part of their hospital surgical medical policies. They are also active in developing alternative reimbursement methods such as capitations, PPOs, preferred provider organizations, and IPA or independent practice association. So what is an IPA? It is an association of dentists or physicians that develops its own management. So a group of dentists, they develop their own management and a fiscal structure for treatment of patients who are enrolled in an HMO. So dentists remain in their own office and continue to treat their fee for service and other patients. And the IPA receives its capitation premium from the HMO, and the HMO keeps on sending patients to them. So the capitation premium is received from the HMO and other prepayment agencies. Then there is something called as a PPO, typically involve contracts between insurers and a number of practitioners who agree to provide specific services for fees that are lower than average in that area. So in India also there are few PPOs, preferred provider organization. Some insurance company like Reliance General Insurance Company, they have few dentists on their panel to whom they send patients who are enrolled with Reliance General Insurance for their dental treatment. Their charges are negotiated with the dentists who are on their panel, and those charges are paid by the insurance company to the dentist. So that is a preferred provider organization. So there are few PPOs which exist. So then there is something called a prepaid group practice or a HMO, Health Maintenance Organization, implemented in US in 1973, legal entity which provides a prescribed range of health services. So not, it doesn't provide the entire gamut of dental services or health services. It will provide a prescribed range of health services to each individual who has enrolled in that organization in return for a prepaid fixed and uniform payment. So everybody pays the same amount and gets the same gamut of services. That is about HMO. Then direct reimbursement involves an agreement between employer or a group of employees in which the employer agrees to reimburse the employees for some part of their expenses for dental care. So the patients are responsible for paying the dentist for whatever dental care they get, but their employer may pay them a fixed amount depending on their agreement. So this is true in India also. This is true in India also. In this direct reimbursement, all treatment decisions are thus negotiated in the patient and dentist in typical two-party manner. After the treatment has been provided, patient takes the receipt to the employer and is reimbursed for the expenses according to the rules of agreement. Reimbursement is usually on a percentage basis, or there is usually an annual limit. So corporate companies, like there are few software companies like Infosys, like Tata Consultancy Services, who follow this model of direct reimbursement. Tata Consultancy Services has a model that they pay every year up to 15,000 rupees as a limit, annual limit for dental services. Infosys has a annual limit of 7,500 rupees for dental treatment. So that patient would visit any dentist, get his treatment done, pay as a fee for service fee, pay on a fee for service basis, collect the receipts from the dentist, and he will submit the receipts to his own corporate organization, and they will pay him up to the maximum annual limit, whatever is there for dental treatment. So this is about direct reimbursement. Some scenario also exists in India. Then there is also something called as a Medicare and a Medicaid, especially for poor people. It is there in the US. So it has two parts: hospital insurance and voluntary supplemental medical insurance. So limited to those services only requiring hospitalization for the treatment and surgical treatment. So Medicaid also, it is funded by the federal government, and not much in case of dental treatments is being done. But coming to the Indian scenario now, so there are various third parties in India. There are few governmental, few non-governmental, few private who do pay for some dental insurance, or they do have some dental insurance plans. So governmental, there are employee state insurance scheme or the ASIS. Then there's a CGHS, central government health scheme. Then third parties in India, then there are few insurance companies. Okay, LIC, that is Life Insurance Corporation, General Insurance Corporation, and all these. Okay. So about dental insurance plan, there it can be as a standalone dental insurance plan exclusively for dental treatments. Usually basic treatments are there. Few companies have dental insurance plan only standalone. Some companies have dental insurance plan in combination or as a part of the general health insurance plans. So it is clubbed with the general insurance plan, such as student medical policy or a health advantage policy, to make the health advantage policy more lucrative. Okay, so some dental insurance plan are available with corporate companies in India, governmental and non-government. So with the governmental, it is central government health scheme or the CGHS, previously known as the Contributory Health Service Scheme, provides comprehensive medical care to central government employees and their families. They have quite a few number of dispensaries which are covered for their employees exclusively, covered under this scheme. They have their own dispensaries. Also now they have been affiliating with various hospitals which are there on the panel. CGHS approved hospitals, dental CGHS approved dental clinics are also coming into existence, and CGHS approves them. There's a set of treatment charges which is fixed by CGHS, which the dentist has to comply with. The CGHS will reimburse the dentist according to that charges, and some dentists may charge the patient more for expensive treatments, and the patient might pay the rest of the charges. It covers the central government employees, retired central government employees, widows receiving pension, members of the parliament, ex-governors, and retired judges. So those who come under the ambit of the central government, those who are employed with the central government, it covers those people. So facilities under the CGHS, outpatient care through a network of dispensaries, supply of necessary drugs, laboratory and X-ray investigations are being done, hospitalization facilities at government and private hospitals for dental surgeries, supply of dental aids at reasonable aids, and along with this, they have tie-ups with various hospitals, so which are CGHS approved, and various dental clinics which are CGHS approved, where the patient can get his or her dental treatment done, avail of the dental services, and the dentist is reimbursed directly to the CGHS according to CGHS rates. So the rate list, there is a rate list which is published by CGHS, and according to that rate list, the dentists are reimbursed by the CGHS. The next is employee state insurance scheme. These are run by the state government. So established in 1948 insurance system, which provides both cash and medical benefits, managed by ESIC, a wholly government-owned and government-owned enterprise, basically employee state insurance corporation. So premiums are paid through a payroll tax of 4.75 by the employer and 1.75 by the employee. So this 1.75% is deducted from his salary, from the salary of the employee by the state government, and the state government has their share of 4.75%. So this becomes a corpus. The scheme covers non-power using factories employing 20 or more members, power using factories employing 10 or more, road transport establishment, newspaper establishment, cinema theaters, hotels, and shops. Then private dental insurance providers. Now we are seeing the Indian scenario. Okay, so private dental insurance provider Apollo Munich Health Insurance. This also, they have a private dental insurance. They under their Maxima plan, dental treatment covered up to 1,000 rupees in a year in a network hospital. So they have hospitals which are network hospitals for this particular insurance. So dental treatment covered up to 1,000 rupees OPD, but if you see, the OPD coverage is up to 10,000. Okay, no cosmetic dental treatment is covered. So any treatment done on OPD basis up to 10,000 rupees is covered under this Maxima plan. So also ICICI Lombard Health Insurance also provides dental insurance or offers dental insurance under their health advantage plan. OPD expenses covered up to 5,000 to 10,000 rupees depending on the plan taken. 3 months waiting period is there, and medical insurance gold plan for students are also there. But again, in this plan also, no cosmetic dental treatment is covered. Only essential basic dental services are covered. The categorization is as essential dental services. Then there's a Star Health Insurance. Star Health gain policy, treatment costs covered on OPD basis up to a certain limit depending on the insurance plan what we take. The limit is up to 60 years. It can be availed. Then there are others: Max Pupa Health Insurance, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, Pepsodent Dental Insurance by Hindustan Lever Limited. Those who buy, it was offered around 4 to 5 years back in 2017, I suppose 16 or 17. And those who would buy a Pepsodent toothpaste, they were covered under a dental insurance up to 1,000 rupees with regards to dental caries, for treatment of dental caries. So Pepsodent dental insurance by Hindustan Lever Limited was also there. Then there's also a Birla Life Saral Health Plan. Then there's a Life Insurance Corporation LIC Health Protection Plus Entry Plan, ICICI Prudential Health Saver Plan. So there are quite a few insurance companies who are these days providing dental insurance cover, but not up to all the entire extent. But this is more in conjunction with the general insurance schemes which are being run by them, and dental insurance is provided as a incentive. There is no company which is exclusively providing only dental insurance. Then there are few non-profit health plans also who from the government. So there's a Karuna Trust run by the government of Karnataka, then the Nandi Foundation, government of Andhra Pradesh, Trinity Care Foundation, NGO, which is run in Bangalore, dedicated school health programs. So these are non-profit health plans. Then there are few corporate dental chains. So Vasan Dental Care, Sapka Dentist from Mumbai, Club Dental from Delhi, Apollo Dental, etc., etc. Lot many corporate dental chains also exist. They have direct. So why this is significant? Because they have direct collaboration associations with private financing companies and offer interest-free EMI schemes to the patient. So they have a of interest-free EMI schemes in collaboration with Bajaj Finance. So patients can get treatment done up to 5 lakh rupees, any treatment done, and interest-free EMIs the patient can pay in interest-free EMIs depending on his credibility and credit worthiness. So this is the advantage of corporate dental plans, that now dental insurance or some kind of financing is being made available to the common public, especially in the form of free EMI schemes. So as we come to the end of it, fee for service remains the predominant method and is going to remain a predominant method, especially in India. Alternate financing modalities will evolve in developing countries like India. They are evolving and they will still keep on evolving. Financing of dental care will remain a very dynamic area with further expansion with newer concepts that may keep on emerging over a period of time. So guys, this was all about financing in dental care. There's a lot to be still done in terms of dental insurance, especially in India. There are no companies which are offering dental insurance, direct exclusive dental insurance in India, because first thing is there is a lack of standardization of dental treatment in India, especially if we see in India. There's a lack of standardization of dental clinics. There's a lack of standardization of dental treatments in India, due to which there is no accountability which can be there for dental treatment. That's why multinational companies who offer dental insurance plans in other countries, they have still not ventured into giving dental insurance plans in India. So that's why still a lot needs to be done in terms of dental insurance and financing of dental care, especially in developing countries like us. But we are advancing towards that. Now there's an accreditation program which is being run by the National Accreditation Board for Hospitals and Healthcare, NABH, where they accreditate dental clinics for some kind of standardization. So if dental insurance tomorrow comes in India or companies start, so there is some standardization with regards to dental clinics which is being run through the NABH. So they might venture through this channel, that NABH accredited dental clinics may be eligible for dental insurance schemes. Already the central government health scheme, that is the CGHS, has made it mandatory for CGHS approved clinics to be NABH approved. And they are giving an incentive of 10% more reimbursement, 10% more amount of reimbursement to the NABH accredited clinics who are on the panel of CGHS. So there is some progress definitely which is going on in terms of standardization of dental clinics. Maybe not still standardization of dental treatments, but standardization of dental clinics definitely. Some process, we are on the path of that. And the days to come may see lot of dental insurance which would be coming into dentistry, which would be benefit to patients also, but also beneficial to all dentists. This was all about financing of dental care. I thank you very much for your patient listening.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation, sir. I think that very lucidly covered various aspects of finance and dental care. So quickly, we already have a comment from Dr. Manjunath Puranik, sir. Okay, thank you so much, Puranik sir, for your comment.
Very
Puranik sir,
nice
can you comment?
presentation.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
It was a very nice presentation, Dr. Amol.
Thank you, sir.
You have covered a lot of information in a very brief time. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your comments. Okay, quickly. So I think the topic again, sir was mentioning the various aspects. So we have a small MCQ test. So let's see how many of you are willing to take this forward. Okay, so I'll be sharing the link in our learning group as well, and in the chat box subsequently. So we can have any queries now. I think one by one, y'all can just raise your hand, or I think let me just give you access to unmute yourself so that you may ask your questions. Yes, the house is open for discussion. Any of the UGs and PGs would like to ask any specific query related to the terminologies? Now, as we know it, this topic, finance and dental care, which encompasses the various payment mechanisms seen in dentistry, is important for the undergraduates as a potential main question. I'm sure in many of the universities, of course, here and in Maharashtra and everywhere else. We also see for the postgraduates, a lot of increasing number of questions have been asked from dental insurance. Okay, the concept of dental insurance, the current scenario, as Amol sir was briefing towards the end of his presentation. So there is a lot to be explored in this direction. The whole idea is dentistry as a whole, when we notice the various evolution of payment mechanisms, okay, it's got to do a lot with the economic structure of every country, every region. For example, the NHS in the UK goes more of pooling in capitation funds together, or some kind of post payment plans are utilized there, and even your Eastern European countries follow a certain mechanism. So for the Indian scenario, depending upon the economics, again, we can definitely subsidize the costs. Like they say, dentistry is not expensive, ignorance is, right? So people go with that notion that dentistry is too costly and everything. But as public health dentists, and when you read the subject, I mean, there are a lot of undergraduates here, so I like to tell this to them, that you must think in directions how you can subsidize the cost, you can reduce it, and they can be a win-win situation for your patient as well as for the dentist. Okay, now as most of you know here, we hear so much in the newspapers, and we've read it from our seniors as well, and known this from them, that dentistry is one of the most lucrative professions, right? In the United States, I think second to lawyers, they're the most earning profession. Now the reason being so is that the United States economy, which is more capitalist driven, we have a lot of insurance companies funding it, so people avail this much more than the rest of the parts of the country. So it becomes a regular routine. And you must understand the scope of this topic goes merely beyond understanding finance mechanisms, but it's also interlinked to utilization of services. Okay, when things are accessible and affordable, automatically the utilization of dental public health services, be it as simple as a sealant placement or restoration, or any kind of rehabilitative care, all that will increase. So if evolving better payment mechanisms is the need of the hour, how we can subsidize this. Okay, of course, what we notice in India is it's predominantly fee for practice, and people are working either in independent group organizations or into multi-speciality systems. But once the private system is existing in such a way, what we require is a public health system where there's more allocation and more distribution of funds. Okay, so please keep in mind, students, that you will have to know the context for all these things when we read. Otherwise, you read deductible, co-insurance, and most of the other topics, like Medicare and Medicare. It usually goes, bounces in our heads. We're not able to understand. So all that things have to be kept in mind before we read this topic. Okay, so I think Amol sir, I think most of the students are a little reluctant to ask doubts. Any of the postgraduates? Anybody can please go ahead and think. Meanwhile, let me just post the link to the Google form here. Okay. Yeah, so I've posted the link to the Google form here, which contains a lot of MCQs on this topic, finance and dentistry. So we try to make this as an evaluative tool for you. So you can always, fill it up and see where you stand, how much you've understood the topic, any clarifications you can get to know. And of course, we will be sharing the slides of this presentation, today's presentation by Dr. Amol sir in our student learning groups. And just to mention here that I've posted the link to our WhatsApp group as well. So those interested students, third years, final years, if you wish to receive more information and notifications about the subsequent webinars which we are conducting, you can please join the WhatsApp group and you can, reach alone. The whole idea is to make the learning of public health dentistry more fun and engaging. So that's the whole idea behind it. Okay. So yes, Amol sir. Yeah. Would you like to summarize the topic for us, sir? Meanwhile, when they're doing it.
Okay, they are still. So
they
will be doing it right away.
Yeah, you can just give a nutshell.
Okay, there are many options for financing of dental care, basically. But then financing, we should not think of only what the patient means fee for service, that the treatment is being done and it is being paid for. But as Dr. Denzi said, that along with financing, if the financing mechanisms become easier, more simpler, then utilization of services is going to increase. What is the very, very most important thing? If utilization of service is going to increase, overall, our motive of public health dentistry, of spreading awareness, prevention of dental disease is going to be rooted more and more deeply into the population. So that is more important. So let's not look at financing only as a give and take mechanism of getting the treatment done and paying whatever amount comes to it. But if better financing options are there, then it is more easier for the patient to avail treatment services. The patient becomes more forthcoming, and with dentistry having a wide range and options of treatment for a single pain entity or a single disease. So there are various options. So a missing tooth can be treated by a number of options, right from a simple removal partial texture to an implant. So let's not see financing only in a very, very narrow way, but we have to look at it at the bigger picture, that if these things are made easier, then definitely overall future of dentistry is going to become more bright for future students and all new dentists, budding dentists who are going to join the bandwagon of already there practicing dentists in the country. Okay, utilization of services by the common man, common public is very, very, very much of importance. And along with this, the main motto of public health dentistry is of spreading awareness in between the population, so that they become more aware of whatever their dental condition is, and they come to get it treated or prevented, not for symptomatic treatment only. So this is the way I look at financing in a broader perspective.
Yes, I think, thank you so much, sir, for that very concise and lucid summary of the topic for today. I think on behalf of PhD 101, I'd like to just extend a small certificate of appreciation to Dr. Amol Jamkhande sir for delivering this lecture today on financing dental care. For all our undergraduates, and there's many postgraduates here who joined in with us. Then we'd also like to thank him for taking the pains and efforts for this fantastic presentation. Okay, so any more questions anybody else has, feel free to use the chat box, or you can always let us know any details if you need more information and all that. Now, just letting you know that in our learning group, we shall be sharing the presentations, a lot of other PDFs, and PhD 101 is comprising of public and dentistry teachers from across the country. So the real advantage is that if you're in a certain state in Karnataka, Maharashtra, or Tamil Nadu, you get to learn from teachers across the country. Like today, we had the opportunity to learn from Amol sir. There were many other students from our learning group who made use of this opportunity as well. So thank you so much, Amol sir, for taking out time and doing this presentation for us. Quickly, I think if we have no more questions, I can just put a small motivational video for all the students here who have gathered, so that in these times of COVID crisis, it's important to stay sustained and
Yes.
motivated throughout the process. So there's a very interesting video by Michelle Obama, which I found very interesting in her words. So let me just share that for you. Yeah. Meanwhile, I think y'all can let us know if there's any
Who
doubts.
are you going to be? And if you'll notice, I'm not asking what are you going to do, but who are you going to be? I'm asking you about how you plan to live your life every day. How are you going to respond when you don't get that job you had your heart set on? For all of you who are going to be teachers, what are you going to do if the students in your class next year just don't respond to your lessons? For all of you going into business, how will you react when your boss gives you a goal that feels way too high? See, these are the moments that define us. Not the day you get the promotion, not the day you win Teacher of the Year, but the times that force you to claw and scratch and fight just to get through the day. The moments when you get knocked down and you're wondering whether it's even worth it to get back up. See, those are the times when you've got to ask yourself, who am I going to be? And I want to be clear, this isn't just some vague platitude about building character. In recent years, we've actually been seeing a growing body of research that shows that skills like resilience and conscientiousness can be just as important to your success as your test scores or even your IQ. For instance, West Point cadets who scored high on things like grit and determination were more likely to complete basic training than those who ranked high on things like class rank, SAT scores, and physical fitness. So what we're seeing is that if you're willing to dig deep, if you're willing to pick yourself up when you fall, if you're willing to work and work until your weaknesses become your strengths, then you'll develop a set of skills that you can mold and apply to any situation you encounter, any job you might have, any crisis you might confront. But you got to make that choice. And let me just share just a little secret before I end. As someone who has hired and managed hundreds of young people over the course of my career, whether it was during my time as a lawyer, as an administrator, as a university, a nonprofit manager, even now as First Lady, I have never once asked someone I was interviewing to explain a test score or a grade in a class. Never. I have never once made a hire just because someone went to an Ivy League school instead of a state school. Never. What I have looked for is what kind of person you are. Are you a hard worker? Are you reliable? Are you open to other viewpoints? Have you stepped outside of your own self-interest to serve others? Have you found a way to serve our country, whether in uniform or in your community? Again and again, I have seen that those are the qualities that I want on my team, because those are the qualities that move our businesses and schools and our entire country forward. And just understand this. Those are the qualities that you all already embody. They're the values you learned from your parents, from the communities you grew up in. And today, more than ever before, that's what the world needs.
All right, so that was a little bit of motivation for all of you students, right? It's actually in times of such crisis is when we learn and become the better version of ourselves, right? So it's not just learning which is important here; it's also to evolve and to retain the value system. And mankind has never been challenged. We can say we are fortunate or rather unfortunate to witness this crisis, COVID crisis. But this is what makes us more resilient, more tough, and makes us actually come out more stronger and better to face future challenges. All right. So dear students, please do remember that, continue the process of learning, and wherever you are in whichever part of the country, please be safe and be secure, and please do take care of your self and your family members, and continue learning and continue growing, right? So thank you so much, Amol sir. Any closing
Thank you, Denzi.
remarks?
No, thank you. It was a nice thing that you have initiated, actually. PhD, especially being a dry subject, and this is an opportunity for students from all over to learn from experts from all over the country. So not defined to any one institute. So this is a good thing that you have started. All the best for your future endeavors. Thank you very much, Renzi.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for doing this. And quickly, like I said, please continue learning and stay safe and stay home, all of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, goodbye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. For the students, I'd like to just add a small bit. The recording of the whole session is available on our YouTube channel as well. So in case you want to go back and hear sir take the various aspects of finance and dentistry, you can always log into our YouTube channel and look in for more content on that. So thank you all so much. See you all very soon. We'll be back next Wednesday with an important session continuing in the PhD 101 Rapid Revision series. Bye-bye, take care, and see you all.